Hello and welcome back. It is Sunday, it is afternoon, and I might even be feeling a little bit productive. Today, I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood. Thank you all for joining, whether you're here live or in the reruns. I love it when people come hang out. And today I have the one, the only Doc Coleman with me.
Something wrong?
I thought that site was muted. It was not.
Oh,
Go for it.
listening to your own audio come through. It's like, yes, it's Sunday, it's afternoon, it's lazy, and hi, I'm Doc Coleman. Um, I write steampunk comedy adventure, and I'm going to be working today on doing more revisions for my second book, The Kindred of Kali. I've not gotten a lot of work done in the last week, so I'm hoping this will be a very productive uh, uh, session today. Um, uh, Work has just been a pain. That darn earning a living so that you can't do the things that inspire you and make you creative.
That's a struggle.
Yep.
So, um, yeah. So let's see. This week, I was just telling Doc, my cat, I'm going to be taking him to the vet for his annual and also to see if we can get him maybe brought down a level on the aggressive play because he needs to be able to accept no without retaliating. So we'll
Have you
work on
tried
that.
Have you tried Feel Away yet?
It's plugged in right now.
It's plugged in
I
right
just got
now. Okay.
I just got a 4-pack. I had some when he first came to the house to try and ease the transition, but not since then.
Yeah. When we first got Trill, she was very aggressive in her play, and we had at that time we had an older cat who was bucolic is about the best description. He was just there, and it's like he didn't mind playing a little, but when he was done, she wasn't. She would go. She basically bully him around the house, and he'd go and stand in the stairwell and yell to the world about how unfair it was, um, especially when we were trying to sleep at night. Uh, so
I mean,
we got the feel away for her, and it did help calm her down. So hopefully it will work for
good.
Catechus.
I'm hopeful. I really am.
Hmm.
I don't want to drug my cat, but I also promised him a forever house. And when he gets aggressive, I've gotten to the point where I'm a little bit scared of my cat, and I don't want to be scared of my cat.
Yeah.
So, uh, I mean, many of you have been on stream where I've got home just before the stream and did not snuggle him and play with him appropriate amounts of time and watched him leap at my head. And,
Hmm.
I like my face. And one of these days he's gonna miss and take out an eyeball, and I like my eye. So
They're
we
good
we
where they
gotta
are.
yeah, he's over a year now, so maybe it's time to do some intervention.
um, have you been trimming his claws yourself?
I have,
Okay.
although it'll be like one paw or like two paws, it's hard to have them all trimmed at the same time. But yeah, so
No.
I'm gonna be stepping that up a little. So
Yeah, it's like it, but it's one thing you can definitely do to defend yourself is try to make sure that his toes are always dull.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So he doesn't mind me trimming them. He just only has so much patience for being curled up on his back.
Okay. Uh, we never curled up our cats on their back. We made them stand on their feet. Um,
I
because
had
if
trouble
they're
finding
on
them.
if if they're standing up and you're picking up one paw, they have to use the other three to keep themselves upright, so they can't scratch you.
Interesting.
Of course, the other side of it is that trimming cats is usually a two-person job. One person to hold the leg out, and the other person to find the claw and trim it appropriately. But
I'm solo. Sometimes I'll do like a towel, and I usually just
Hmm.
curl him up in my lap and let him gnaw in one hand while I'm, pressing the
Right.
paw pad and snip, 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 snip. So
Yeah.
the problem is that I'm right-handed, and so the ones on the other side
Uh-huh.
are a little harder to get to.
Yeah.
But and I'm really bad at finding the dew claws when I'm
Oh, really?
trimming. When I'm not
Okay.
trimming, no problems. When I'm trimming, it's like, wait, where'd it go? So
We haven't had that problem with either of our cats. Even with Trill having all that hair to lose in, we have more problems trying to make sure we don't accidentally trim off some of her toe hair, trying
yeah,
to get at the claws. But
gotcha. Yeah. If you see me peeking
so
that
welcome to
way,
Cat Game.
right? If you see me peeking that way, it's because I have this battery-powered toy that spins round and round, and sometimes he'll
Hmm.
tip it over so it's not doing anything except running down the battery. So I'm just like, is he still playing with it? Because I find the noise a little irritating, so I want to turn it off if
Yeah,
he's not playing with it. So I'm just
yeah. They really
checking
need to
on the
make those
stats.
suckers with remotes. Uh,
That would be awesome. Yes. But it would be pricier too.
this is true.
So, anyway, we're not just here to talk about my cat because what does the shirt say?
Writing is my jam.
Oh yeah. And I mean, we all know that Morgan actually really, really does like toast with jam on it. So, jam
Or
is pretty awesome.
little marmalade. Yeah. No.
See, I never wanted to try marmalade because I absolutely hated Paddington Bear.
Okay.
I think it's because whenever Paddington Bear came on, I always thought it was going to be about Corduroy, the um, the department store bear that was missing a button,
Oh, right. Okay.
and then it was just a letdown.
How dare you be a real fictional bear instead of a fake fictional bear that wants to be a real fictional bear?
I mean,
See,
yeah.
I just like oranges, so I like marmalade.
Mm. Maybe if I tried marmalade, but all I remember about Paddington Bear is that his voice was a little nasal
Mm-hmm.
and he was a little whiny and he always wanted some marmalade and he was very like, let me tell you how things are going to be.
Mm. So you just need a new association with marmalade.
No, I
One
do.
that when it's not bear involved. Uh,
I mean, I do appreciate a good teddy bear. I mean, but it is what it is.
but your teddy bear should not be in your marmalade. So
No,
the bear gets
no.
all sticky, and the marmalade gets all fuzzy, and that's just wrong.
Although I can't talk about This Is My Jam without sharing the Double Click song, This Is My Jam, because it's adorable and it cracks me up and it's about toast with jam. But
Of course.
also, this is my jam and this is what I like. And if you have a problem with it, go do your thing over there because people should be happy.
This is my jam. I made it myself.
Oh,
I
so
made a lot so it stacks on the shelf.
anyway, popping over to the comments,
Yeah.
I see Mama Ward is here. Hello and welcome. Let's see. What are you working on today? We know that Doc is working on Kindred of Kali and
Yep.
putting all the input from all his different
Well,
people.
processing the input from the people now. Uh,
Right, right.
right.
I heard you heard back from your sensitivity reader.
Um, I did. She gave me some big overall comments, and it was
A lot to think about.
well, no, it kind of boiled down to it looks like you didn't do any research. You should do some research and use the correct words for things. It's like, but my character doesn't know the correct words for things. That's why I went through those lengthy descriptions, and that's why it sounds whitewashed because he doesn't know the real word.
Do people school
So
him on it throughout?
there's going to have to be a lot more schooling in the revised.
Okay, that makes sense. So, oh, hey, hop into the comments. Let's see. Jules is finishing up. Oh my gosh, with a 15-meter sprint. Doc will be back in just a second. And let's see. All the hashtag SHU frogs will be headed over. Awesome. That's a lot of words. And Doc, you're coming back in 3, 2, 1, live. I figured I'd
Okay,
give you a countdown just so you weren't in the middle of like a scratching your nose or something.
that's a polite way of putting it. Uh,
And now you have to scratch your nose because I talked about
no,
it.
no, something in my eye.
Oh, that's always a
Uh,
hassle.
I blame the cats.
So the boyfriend has baby goats,
Yay!
and I gotta snuggle them, and they're adorable. And next week there will be probably maybe I guess next 2.5 weeks now because they didn't come this week, so that means the
Mhm.
cycle's 3 weeks. So they'll be
Okay,
due at the end of the next cycle. So
so your spring is going to be filled with waves of baby goats.
I mean, yeah.
Does not sound like a bad thing.
So fun fact, they were baby twin boys, we thought. And then on day 2, one of them just didn't seem to be processing properly. And long story short, vet came out and one of the goats had some surgery. The goat is actually intersex, does not have an anus, and what was coming out was kind of coming out through its vulva, but the path wasn't really clear. So the doctor, or the vet in this case, confirmed the pathway, and all of the backup came out, and the goat is doing much better now. But we're not sure if the path means it's going to be prone to infections or not. I don't
Mhm.
know, but it was an interesting experience. So,
Yeah.
but
So,
he's doing okay right now. His name is Buster.
okay, Buster was busted. Uh,
So we'll
hi.
definitely be keeping an eye on that one. But
Yeah.
it was not, it was a new experience. It was I think goat 101 and 102 on the farm.
Mm.
So not something that had happened before, but is doing okay now and definitely gonna have an eye kept on it. Hello, kitty. Which one is
I.
this?
This is Gilly.
Why can't I keep your cat straight?
I have no idea. There's
Because
only two
I've
of them.
never
It's
met
not
them in
like there's a
person.
huge list. Well, that's true. I think it would probably be a bad idea for me to bring them down to you, but we could probably arrange for you to come visit. But
Yeah. Let's see. Popping to the comments, uh, M. Ward was very sympathetic about the goat and said that hermaphrodites are actually common in some breeds. It's an Angora, so I mean, it hasn't happened before, so I'm not sure how common it is in the Angora goats. But
yeah, common may be a statistical term. Uh,
right. So this goat was already planning to be weathered and a pet goat and not a breeding goat. So um, it is what it
yep,
is.
it's a goat.
It's a goat. So, okay. Well, after all of that lovely tangent, are people feeling like being productive today? Doc feels like hanging out with his cats, apparently. Let's see. Let's see. What's the name of my space fantasy? Oh, right. A dream of stellar ships. And I'm making sure this time I am editing underscore first draft because I've made that mistake before. Do make sure you're editing the right verse. And Doc is popping back in.
Hi. I blame the cat. Uh,
We say, all hail the feline overlord.
yes.
Okay, so boar and Kiko goats have a lot of intersex kids, especially if they're interbred. That makes sense. Yeah.
Hmm.
So they
I guess
they
that makes
try.
sense if you've got a
Yeah,
gene that tends to it and it gets bred a lot, you get a lot more
yeah,
incidents. So.
yeah. So ah, the gremlins got you. Oh no!
Yeah.
Luckily you escaped.
Yes.
So
Uh,
I am gonna go ahead and get us started. Let's see. Here's my productivity timer, and let's get started in three, two, one. Boom.
bad.
Let's see. What chapter was I on? And we're back, and we have a Sako who's joined us. Did you want to say hi to the lovely people?
Hello, lovely people. I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Cass Voit. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. Today, I am updating my author website because
Nice.
there was some confusing information on my website, so I'm remedying that.
It's pretty good. How was your sprint, Doc?
Um, mine was somewhat slow going, and you appear to be underhydrated. Um, but no, I've been working through some of the comments and rearranging some sentences, but not making a lot of progress. But I knocked a few things out.
What, whenever I hear the phrase, rearranging sentences, I flash back to the Titanic and rearranging things on the top while waiting for it to sink.
On the deck, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, usually the first thing I do when somebody gives me feedback that says, "Oh, this sentence sounds awkward," it's like I look at it, it's like, "Oh, it's backwards," and I take
Yep.
rearrange stuff. And
Yeah.
Yeah. As I've said before, I do the small stuff before I do the big stuff because I can't see the big stuff if I keep getting distracted.
hmm
Whereas I'm exactly the opposite. I'm not going to do the effort of editing the line copy if the developmental stuff like
yeah,
negs on it.
I don't want to fix this sentence if I have to rewrite the paragraph that it's in. But
Yeah. Or the paragraph gets cut anyway, like
yeah,
why would I
Then
edit that
again,
paragraph if it's going to go.
I've definitely pulled in paragraphs that I cleaned up and then cut and then, been like, hey, wait, I'm pretty sure I worded that nicely in that last revision.
hmm that's why you always keep copies of your. You always make a copy of your manuscript with the comments in it before you start revising, because you can
Excellent idea. Yes.
go back to what you just had.
Oh,
Yes.
I make a copy before I send it to them.
Yes, me too.
hmm
Yeah.
I do a new
But
draft and I make a copy specifically for the reader.
yeah.
So
I
like other
dream
readers can't see their comments.
I dream of Google Docs letting it so like multiple people can make comments, but only one person you can only see your own because I don't want them to
Unless you're the
influence
owner.
each other.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
Although
part of the reason why I send out copies and I don't do anything where I have my beta readers on the same threads, because I don't want them to know who each other are. I just want to get their feedback.
yeah,
Later, they can know who they are. They get credit in the book,
definitely.
usually.
Yep. So let's pop over to the comments real quick. Let's see. Mama Ward is working on draft 1 and not just the draft 0. Editing the wrong draft is worse because merging the copies is a nightmare. So
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
We had the Dogling writer swing by. Hello and welcome. And Devin swung by. And Kelly, hello. And just in case. And clearly, Kelly was during the sprint listening to the first half of the chatty portion of the stream because he commented on my shirt. Writing is in fact my jam,
hmm
and I was talking about how I was visiting some baby goats this week, and one of them was born without the right pathway. Was intersex, and instead of an anus, had a vulva, and so the poop had to come out somewhere. So they made a pathway, and the goat's doing a bit better now. But anyway, so Kelly said there's a goat that's a hermaphrodite, and Mama Ward said it's not uncommon in some breeds, especially if the breed is inbred. They do their best not to inbreed, but yeah. And Justin said that hermaphroditism is not uncommon, especially in dairy goats of Western European descent. It used to be up to 10%. So Mama Ward is slogging through the editing.
Mhm.
And Mr. Landis swung by. Hello and welcome. So, and Kelly also checked out the YouTube video. I linked the double clicks. This is my jam because it's adorable, and I think of it every time I wear the shirt. So I love toast. I love jam. There's not much to dislike about it.
There's not much to dislike about it.
Sir Blandis smiled and waved.
So I got my reminder email from Imaginarium yesterday, and they were like, hey, we want to put you in our guest things. Like, we're just waiting for you to buy those discounted tickets. And I was like, oh, okay. So I sent them the money, and they're like, we want you to teach visual storytelling and storytelling for writers, or for storytelling with tarot, rather.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
So yeah, so I guess I'll be, once I finish my website updates, which are just about to wrap up, I'm probably going to work on my classes.
Yeah, they reached out to me and said they'd like my workshop on agents, log lines, and query letters.
Oh,
So
cool! I totally
yeah.
want to. I'm totally going to sit in on that.
Yeah, that's actually the presentation that I gave my local writing group and the Fredericksburg group. So I've got it down to a science now, and I can
Nice.
definitely make it more workshoppy and make it go longer or squeeze it into an hour. But
Yeah.
it's basically traditional publishing 101, how the whole pipeline works and what you need for it. I mean, obviously indie does different things, but yeah. So
But there are so many benefits to doing a query letter, even for self-published authors.
oh, I should be writing a query letter before I edit any more of this story so that I can make sure that I'm editing it and focusing on
The important stuff, yeah.
yeah.
Because I know, like, between drafts, my story can become completely different. My message can become completely different, and which is one of the reasons why I re-outline between drafts. But, like, I re-outline, but I think I would benefit from actually writing a query letter between drafts.
I can do that.
And I think that kind of like ties into the elevator pitch as well, So
So when you say that you re-outline, do you mean that you look at the draft you've just written and you build an outline to write the next draft to, or are you looking at what you've written and then saying, well, this is how the outline breaks down of what I've written. Is this what I want to carry forward?
I write down what I've got, and I take some of those bits and say, I would like it to go this way. And I find it easier to stay on beat, because some of my scenes or some of my beats are multiple scenes in the long run. So they become separate beats themselves, and excuse me, goodness.
Okay. I was just wondering because my process is much more freeform and evolutionary. The I don't tend to sit down and make an outline at any point. I just kind of like, oh, that will make things much worse. Let's do that.
I still do that.
Okay.
I still do that. What is the worst possible thing that can happen? And then that's my conflict. That's the meat chipper that I throw the characters through.
Hmm.
So I find if I keep throwing bad things at them, I never get to the end because they keep like veering and veering and veering further away from where they were trying to go.
Oh,
So so sometimes I like beeline them straight for it and then go back and add stuff in, and it's still way too many words.
yeah, I got you.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it really depends on whether you're adding in something that's a distraction or a complication. I mean, the classic complication is like you have to be stealthy, you have to break in somewhere, and there are people in places you aren't expecting them. And it's like, you have to go across this
It's
thing
the
quietly
Grinch.
and you knock stuff off.
It happened to the Grinch. He was trying to stealth in, stealth out, and Cindy Lou Who needed a drink of water and totally like messed up his whole jam.
but but he recovered.
He
He
did.
dealt
He
with it.
did.
He recovered.
Yeah. And he rolled high on his bluff, or Cindy Lou Who rolled really low on her suspect.
Well, she
Yeah.
was very young, so.
She was very young.
Hi, Greg.
So let's see. Kelly said he's editing as well. He spent 3 to 4 hours cranking out a short at 3 a.m., or rather until 3 a.m. And
Right on.
Mama Ward says, "Yay, we're both doing the cons.
Yay!
Brave Sako." Devin would like to know if writing is an art. Does that make us con artists?
Yes.
But a bump.
Hello,
I
girl.
almost bought a table, but the table was a little too expensive.
Yeah, I get that.
And considering the clientele coming through, like I couldn't see
Yeah.
making
Maybe
it work.
split a table with somebody, but not roll solo, I think.
Yeah,
Plus,
maybe so.
that way you don't have to be stuck at the table the whole time.
Yeah.
So, Kelly likes the distinction between distraction and complication.
Yep.
And Greg came out, in Cindy Lou's honor. I mean,
She was.
defense. She was only
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
The Grinch was very bad at his job. He's very green.
Yeah,
But
he had a lot.
she,
He had a lot to learn about stealing Christmas.
that's a great dad joke.
Oh,
Devin
I
is very
enjoy
good
it.
at the bad jokes.
I enjoy dad jokes. Just keep them coming. Keep them coming. I mean, my shirt's basically a dad joke anyway.
It is.
So, who wants to be productive? Do we
I
want to
do.
do some more? Okay. Let's go ahead and do another sprint. Did 22 minutes work for everybody else?
Yep.
Does it matter? No. I'm going to do
It's
22
your
minutes.
podcast or your stream. So.
Well, if there were enough people who disliked it, maybe we should do a real quick stretch before we get started, though.
Ooh, it's like Nightbot's here or something.
Oh.
Oh man.
Ow. You get that grinding sound in your neck,
I mean, it just always grinds. I don't understand.
No, that's when you know it's a good stretch.
So,
Crunch,
yeah,
crunch.
I think I'm ready now. Shoulders loosened up a little. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, boom. Did you eat your treats? The water is good. Oh, nice. Yep. What else? And we're back. Ugh. Catechus demanded some attention, so I had to go play some.
How dare he?
He's cat.
Yeah, true. My
How was
cats are
your trip?
asleep.
Ah,
Mine too. Sleepy kitty.
I moved into chapter 3, so that was at
Yay.
least good.
nice.
Still going slow.
I looked at the panelists and the panels and workshops that they've got queued up at Imaginarium. I finished updating my website. For the most part, I gotta update the ads for the books.
Sure.
So I'm doing that next spring.
Nice. I actually started over. I'm going over a chapter I edited last week, but I think I'm smoothing out a few things and stuff. And I didn't start back at the beginning. I started back at like page 35 or so.
Right on.
So I wasn't quite happy with this character's introduction. So I knew it was better, but not quite there, you know?
Yeah, I got you.
And I mean, this is just going to be a
Yeah.
draft 1. It's not, you know, not expected to be amazing, just better. And then I will send it off to my alpha reader, hopefully between semesters, and see what we get. So, so popping into the comments, let's see. Greg wanted to remind us all to change the oil since we were talking about dad and dad jokes. Godzilla 2, King of the Monsters, swung by. Hello, Godzilla. Just in Case is still at the first part of their urban fantasy novel, and they've done the scene where the elves' forest, oh no, is burnt down, and most of the remaining survivors are driven into the ocean by the French Inquisitors. Tisk.
Okay, that's a different fantasy approach. Yes.
Yeah. Kelly is looking for a better name for Jasper. Justin asks Jasper the Gemstone, the National Park, the AI copywriting assistant, or just the name? I
Yeah.
assumed the name. I said Gareth. It's, you know, kind of got that hard good sound, 2 syllables, but it's not, you know, quite the same.
My names are chosen somewhat differently. It's like, you know, better name for Jasper. Tell me who Jasper is, and I'll tell you what his name should be.
Yeah, no kidding.
Linkerbell is here. Hello and welcome. Linkerbell has 4 short pages to tweak before the first stage of this website reno is done and I can put it online. Oh, Greg said the noises from our stretching is what needed oil.
Yeah.
Kelly liked Gareth, so we'll see. Godzilla said hello again. And Justin says, in general, I choose names for my characters, which tell about their origin, class, and so forth. So it would help knowing more about your character. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
I mean, if I have a character whose name seems kind of incidental and throwaway, it's probably because the character is incidental and throwaway.
Yeah.
Right.
Though my throwaway names are still just as good as my.
Well,
naming
some
is
of
so
them
hard.
can be. Sometimes I just take names of my friends and tweak them a bit and throw them into my books. So
right on.
The proud Tuckerizing tradition.
Okay. So let's see. Kelly is running on coffee and an 8-pack of cinnamon swirls.
Oh, I'm kind of jelly
And
For having the cinnamon swirls,
for,
yes.
for
For
having the
only
cinnamon
having that much
swirls.
all day, no. But
so editing and decided to change the name of this story from Allies and Enemies to The Dust Shadow Insurgents. I've never
Oh.
been happy with the draft name. I get that.
Which is funny because I'm exactly the opposite. My like project names end up being the book title.
yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
My titles are usually very descriptive. The story I'm querying right now is currently called To Betray a Goddess, and
Oh,
its original was, I think, Demon Marked or something like that.
I like the latter. The
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
No,
For a while,
my
it was Flesh and Ink, because the main character is a tattoo artist.
right, sure.
So, but I figured I'd switch it up because there were a lot of noun and nouns, and especially with flesh or ink as one of those. And I just wanted to step a little bit away from that. So
I'm very fond of using one word. Hope's Chest is a exception because it's a
right.
screen name technically.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
yeah.
my space fantasy working title right now is A Dream of Stellar Ships.
neat.
So I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna keep it or not, but it's the working title, and
Working title.
Yeah,
I'm
my
not calling them
experience.
spaceships because we sail on the aether between worlds, and stellar ship just sounded less techy and more magic-y.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead,
my
Doc.
experience with titles is that um, either either you get the title just right off the bat, and it is good and it's solid, and you're not going to change a thing, or you are never happy with the title, and it always seems a bit lame and derivative, and you will flip flop on it endlessly, and even after you published it. So,
Yeah.
I am really married to the names for the damned Hitman series.
Hey.
Like like I came up with those like back in like 2005 or something, and I never deviated. Like I'm still hell bent on using those names.
I still have a business card with demon marked on it.
Ooh, oops.
So, fun fact, when you make business cards, make them out for yourself and not your book title, because hopefully, A, you're going to have more than one book, and B, the title might change if it's not already pubbed.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So, there's a tip you can take home. And don't make it black on both sides with writing on the front, because people like to write notes on them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I made so
But
many mistakes with it, but
yeah,
Well, this is how we learn, right?
yeah.
yeah, technically that's the one problem I have with my business cards is because they've got my information on one side and they've got a book cover on the other side. So this is neat in that okay, my cards are actually advertising my books, but there's not a lot of white space on the side with my information where people actually want to put notes.
Yeah.
But they're really good for giving out to people so they will go and buy my books.
Right?
Yeah, because as soon as they see it, it's like, oh, that's why I picked this card up.
I actually made business cards with the intent of handing them out at Imaginarium. Yeah, I'm like, and it's got all of my stuff on it. So instead of having like a card for my graphic design, a card for my photography, a card for my modeling, I was just like, I do all the stuff. And there's plenty of space to write. Yeah.
So original, glossy, high gloss with the title it's not even anymore. The back is just like initial. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, that's an
it's
It's very
absolutely
slick.
great
nice,
calling.
but
It's a
it's not
great
very
calling card
useful.
because it's in violet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's much better.
Yeah.
And it's in linen. It's got the texture, and the back is actually, the newest ones actually have, and you can find me at Anansi Storytime, it really small along the bottom.
Nice.
Because it's not me by myself, so I have it on the flip side, but yeah.
But you're a big
So,
part of it, yeah.
right,
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
in a certain sense, you're good having both of those cards. It just depends
I
on
do.
why you're giving it out. It's like if you're giving somebody a card so they can make a note to talk to you at some other time, then you give them the white card. If they just want to know who you are and where they get your stuff, then you give them the black card.
This is the one I carry now, but I also
Yeah.
carry Anansi Storytime's card and Balticom's cards. So if I'm
hmm
talking about those things, I can give them the card for that organization.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
hmm
oh no, poor Kelly. Kelly says, I guess I need to redo that one business card with the QR code he'd been working on.
Oh.
Actually, I have intention of making a QR
Yeah.
like business card. I have a QR code that links to my PayPal and one
Ah,
to my Cash App, so I have like a sign so people can pay me that way.
yeah, that makes sense.
I don't
So
have.
yeah, Blinkerbell asked if I had a QR code, and I don't. I thought about it, but I'm not quite that
You have
crazy.
enough avenues that like maybe a link tree might help.
I would assume the QR code would go to my link tree. There's nowhere else it should go, but I mean, if you have my name, you can find me
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I am
That was good.
Same with me. Like
Hazelwood.
if you have my name, then
Yeah,
you can pretty much find me anywhere.
yeah. Hazelwood's actually a family name, and I made sure that I was highly Googleable before, committing to it.
Me too.
Yeah,
So
I've got a QR code on my business cards, and that links to my Amazon author page.
nice.
So that's like
I felt
yes,
like
my
such,
website's down below, but the Amazon author page is where you can go to buy my stuff.
Yeah.
I felt like such a heel when everybody asked for my card at Imaginarium, and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't have cards on me. And I was like, that is never happening again.
You
No
never
way.
tell people you don't have cards. You say, "I'm sorry, I ran out."
That would be smart. That would have been smarter of me.
Yeah. So I figured the pandemic's my fault because I just ordered new business cards and put in for a new passport. Renewed my
Ah,
passport like the
yeah,
week before.
gotcha.
So Blinkerbell says she never talks to anyone in person to hand a card to, and that's legit.
If you're not doing cons and you're not
Yeah,
doing networking things in
yeah,
person, then cards are useless to you. Yeah.
right. Yeah. Mama Maggie says I need to do business cards and order more coffee mugs and bookmarks for my books.
Bookmarks are they were one of the more essential things that were recommended to me when I was self-publishing and self-marketing. That's your business card. So you can do business cards or bookmarks. I vote for the bookmarks because
Love
people are
them.
more inclined to take the bookmark.
I have my phone wallet. If it doesn't fit in it, I'm not keeping it. So I might be different than other people, but if it
I don't
doesn't
keep
fit,
business cards in my wallet.
yeah. Well,
Oh,
I
I've got
don't
a
keep
separate.
them there, but if I'm handed wallet, and then when I go back to my room, I pull them out of my phone and
Oh,
put them
sure,
on the
sure.
yeah.
Mhm.
But
I've got a
I'm
separate one for business
I'm
cards.
so
So.
good at putting stuff down, you know. So,
hmm
Mama Maggie says I need to make a link tree, create a QR for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm everywhere except Twitter. There are 3 people following Morgan Hazelwood that clearly meant to follow me or
Mhm.
followed both of us because I was like, I recognize those names.
Yeah.
Someday that name will be mine. I'm over 10K followers. They have 0 followers, 0 following, 0 tweets. Why won't they release the account to me?
Also, congratulations on 10K. Goddamn.
Yeah, very excited. It's a good day for me. I'm at like 10,400.
Nice.
Yeah.
I broke 1,000 on Facebook,
Ooh, nice.
which is good because
Yeah.
like 700 of those are subscribed, and then like 300 of them are actually active on my page.
Hey.
So if 1% like buy my book, I'm happy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I have like no idea. It's been years since I actually checked.
Yeah. Blinkerbell says, I can't do anything with lots of people yet, but I go to cons to buy things. I do get the cards, though.
Right on.
I think I should wear a
Fanny
fanny pack.
packs.
It ruins the costume.
I need a fanny pack.
Actually, there's found a company that makes holsters. It literally looks like a sidearm type thing, and for
Yeah.
steampunk, and especially if I'm vending at the event, then that's my
It's part of your costume.
all the stuff I need for vending, and it works whether I'm garbed up or whether I'm in plain clothes. But
Nice. But you
it's like,
also very rarely wear skirts
this is true.
with like crinolines underneath, making it go poof.
Definitely haven't worn skirts with crinolines. I imagine if I wore a kilt, that wouldn't be nearly the problem that it would be for crinoline wearing portion of the public. But although I just looked, and it turns out I've got 975 followers on Twitter, so I just need 25 more.
Nice.
Best way to get followers is to follow people.
That is.
Yep.
That is also true.
I have definitely used Twitter pitch events as finding people who write stuff I like to read and following them, and then getting the follow backs. So
yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna pop through the comments really quick. Mama Maggie says, my hubby has a wallet just for business cards. I have business card holders, and I take one out and then I put theirs in the back, and when I cycle out, then I go back to the room. Justin says, my business card is as simple as it gets. H.H. Leuch, author, and my email. Greg says, I may be at 30. Oh my goodness. 30 followers on Twitter.
30 followers or 30,000? No.
Mama Maggie says, congrats. Yay, thank you. Blinkerbell says, I go in civilian clothes.
Yeah.
Greg asks, are there crinoline kilts? I don't think so.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I invoke Rule 34 of the internet, and I won't be doing that search. So.
I actually love it. As long as like I have something underneath so it's not touching my skin directly.
Valid.
So Blinkerbell has not been to a con since 2018, but is the sort that walks around with a DSLR and asks the cosplayers for photos and the indie authors to pose with their books. Awesome.
That's so cool.
And Greg clarified 30.
30.
But no, searching wrong Rule 34.
Yeah.
But we were talking other stuff before we went down the business card rabbit hole. So let me pop back up. Kelly says he was looking for Jasper replacement names. The main character's name is Ganaya. So I was just making up names in the wee hours of the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And Mama Maggie says, usually I love project names, but this one and its trilogy partners need new names. And Blinker Bell says, the only whip I have with a name is Not My Father's Son.
Mm.
So, okay. I think we're caught up on the comments.
I am curious, do you know if the masquerade is a thing again?
I would assume because it was last, and it seems to be one of their key feature events, so I would assume Thusly.
It seems so. Like, should I bring a thing?
Bring a thing. Maybe a different thing than last time.
I have a Baroness.
So do I.
Oh my gosh, we should both be Baroness.
We totally could do it. It was actually, I believe, a Black Widow costume, but I took like a red nail polish and like painted the emblem on the front.
Nice.
I wonder if it still fits.
Whoa. Yeah, I'll have to think that through.
Yeah, yeah. Blinkerbell says, "Not my father's son follows the life of the daughter." Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Justin,
that was actually the first thing I thought when you said the title before.
yeah. Oh my. Justin let Greg know that for sure a crinoline can be a fetish, and there are clubs and even cults for every imaginable fetish. Good to know. So anyway, with that, maybe it's time to do another sprint.
Sounds
Maybe.
good to me.
So let's see. Okay, I have found the window with the timer. Go ahead and get started in a 3, 2, 1. Oh, 1 second.
No.
Blinkerbell's fetish is a completed task list. Ooh.
Makes y'all tingly.
Anyway, now 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
running back.
I mean,
Was there
yeah,
kid need?
there were kitten needs.
Mm-hmm. And here comes Sako.
So how was your sprint?
My sprint was good. I wasn't expecting there to be like a 2-minute delay on the StreamYard between the YouTube.
2-minute delay? Well, there is
It's
a
like a 2-minute.
lag, but not quite 2 minutes.
It's about 2 minutes.
Oh. Hi.
Yeah, that was a good sprint for me.
Good. I did a little interneting, and I ate some cookies, and I played with my kitty, and I got 2 more paragraphs edited.
Multitasker. Wow.
Great.
Yeah. I made some more progress. Found a paragraph that needed to be broken up. It was just too long a block of text, and it's like, okay, not only can I break this up, I can put in some more some background and some color about some of the characters that you don't necessarily see on screen at all, like the Eternal Empress, and how people, and show how people react to her. So
Okay.
good opportunity.
Nice. So popping to the comments, let's see. Justin says,
That
I
one.
wrote some paragraphs where the elves learned that their protector, Duke Louis of Burgundy, who was to inherit the French crown, has died of measles. Instead, the reign of Louis the 14th, aka the Sun King, is followed by Louis the 15th.
Yep.
So
I learned about Louis the 14th when I was like super little.
Louis of Burgundy was also the protector of the writers and an early promoter of free speech, and thus tremendous important for the 1789 Revolution and the U.S. Constitution.
Yep.
Fun fact of the day.
Cool historical fun.
Yeah, there used to be a show called Encyclopedia
Not familiar with
that used to air at like 6 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning or something ridiculous like that on HBO. And
Reason for
I
not being
became addicted to it. So I would wake up at freaking like 5 o'clock in the morning to watch Encyclopedia.
familiar.
Oh my gosh.
And they would have songs about things like Louis the 14th.
Interesting.
I just learned a lot in French class.
I did not take French.
Well,
I
I had like 5-6 years of ballet, so I knew basically every French verb.
Right.
Because for those of you who don't know, all of ballet terms are basically just French verbs.
Yep.
Plier means to bend. Battement means to kick. Glissade means to glide. It's,
Yeah.
right, yeah. So
From the time when French was the language of ballet, which brings us to now when the language of ballet is French. Yeah.
pretty much. So yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah.
But I just realized it is 6:30, so I was thinking maybe dinner, and I might hop on somebody else's Twitch and hang out there for a bit.
Cool.
So
Yep. Dinner would be a good
We
thing.
lost track at the time. Jeez.
Gilly has woken up, and she's also saying that dinner is a good thing, especially if the cats get fed first.
Yeah. So over on the Twitch, I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Should I raid Haley or Q Wordy Q?
Oh, Q Wordy.
Q Wordy has nobody there right now. One person. And
We
Haley has 12.
We should help
go to
out
Q
Q
Wordy.
Wordy.
Okay. Then we'll be raiding over there. It takes a minute to start the raid. Let's go ahead and do our outros.
Sounds great. Howdy neighbors, I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Cass Voit. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and man, I've been combining them a lot lately. If you are interested in videos that pertain to marketing for authors, I'm actually working on a whole new marketing boot camp for writers. It's going to be amazing and fantastic and free on YouTube for quite a while, and then I'm going to make it a private thing where people can pay and learn how to release a book and all the marketing that goes with it.
So much marketing.
hmm
Okay.
So that's going to be super fun.
And her links are down below on the YouTube, or you can find her as Psycho Sako, or on the socials.
Yep.
So
It's all
Doc,
down there. I'm Doc Coleman. I write steampunk comedy adventure. Currently working on my second full-length novel, The Kindred of Kali, trying to get that published out hopefully this summer. So yes, I'm being ambitious. Sako, you haven't been here for the past couple weeks. You kind of missed that, but
yeah, that's really exciting, Doc.
Yeah, I'm trying to be ambitious with it, and I managed to push through my beta read on schedule, and now it's like I've got to get these revisions and get an editor. But if I keep, if I can get through revisions in March, I think I can still do it, even if I have.
It'll be
revisions
close,
from the
but I
editor.
think you can. I think you can swing
Oh
it.
yeah, it's like my big goal is so that when I go back to the Maryland Renaissance Festival in the fall, I will have a brand new book to sell to people. But
That would be amazing.
yeah, but let's see. I'm going to be a guest at Balticon this year. I've received 2 invitations. I've received the invitation as a guest and an invitation as a virtual guest, because still have concerns about how things are going to work with keeping myself and my family healthy.
Safe.
But
Yeah.
looks like I might actually be there in person. Still have some details to work out, but if nothing else, I'll be there virtually. So excited for that. I've kind of missed the con scene, although I definitely haven't missed having to lug stuff in from the car into the hotel room and back.
That is something I don't miss.
So I've got some excitement in my life. I'm not completely behind. And you can find my stuff down there where all the other links are, or you can search for Doc Coleman Steampunk, and you can find me on Amazon. You can find my webpage. And I'm done.
Oh, I should probably mention
totally timed out.
I should probably mention that I am re-releasing Flambeau on March 11th. Nice. Come for the party and find a new edition that is Cass Voit only. I have received all the rights and re-released it under my name. So come and support the project. It would be super key.
Awesome. And I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood. I am an actively queering fantasy author, and I blog, vlog, and podcast writing tips from the pros and my own writerly musings. You can find me everywhere as Morgan Hazelwood, except Twitter, where Morgan Hazelwood. And let's go do this raid over on Twitch. If you're not there, you just get to see us say bye. Have fun storming the castle. Balticon is actually in Baltimore, Maryland. So.
Yeah.